Back for episode 5 of Triumph Fuel and Fire. My name is Tyler, owner of Triumph Studio here, and I am here with our lead instructor, Kristin Thompson, who wears many different titles. But one of the biggest things that, like, the inspiration behind this episode of We Can Do Hard Things, there's a lot tied into that. There's a lot that's tied into that. So, like, for you, like, I know there's a big story behind that, but I would love for you to just kind of tell people who you are, like, of all the different things that you do, because you're lead instructor here, you're a wife, you're a mom, you're a business owner. You guys just accomplished an amazing achievement in the Monique Studio of Dance.
Yes.
And leaving with the Nationals and, like, just
cleaned up.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yes, wife of 13 years this year, married, 3 kids, twins that are 9 and an 11-year-old. I own Monique Studio of Dance, which is short for Kristin Monique. Monique is my middle name. My mom suggested that 19 years ago. 19 years I've had the studio, which is wild. We just entered our 19th season. We just came from Nashville Nationals, where we won almost everything. And I say almost because they had to be very political.
Yeah.
And distribute the awards. But it was awesome. It was a great week. Lead instructor at Triumph, love it. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, well, that was your first time going to Nationals, wasn't it? Or not?
In a long time.
Yeah.
We went to Orlando when I was pregnant with my 11-year-old, but I wasn't able to go because I was pregnant, and it was in the summer. I was a couple weeks out from giving birth, but we weren't as strong then, so this was a big deal.
That would have been season 7, season 8?
Well, yes. So this was a very big deal. And I don't like to do Nationals because it's a week, and so you're requiring families to force them into a vacation, essentially, because you want to bring your spouse, your kids.
Yeah.
And if not, then you're leaving your family for a week, so, like...
Yeah, but in a lot of ways, just from observation and hearing you guys and being around you all these years, you guys are a family. Like,
Yes.
Monique Studio of Dance is a family in itself.
Yes.
It feels like.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We're very much... I mean, we have to. We're with these kids minimum 9 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know, very intimately. So you get to know them and the families and the whole thing. But that was really cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, and like you were saying, lead instructor here.
Love it.
CEC, which is a term that we use, but for everybody else, what does that stand for?
I was thinking about this last night. Class Experience Coordinator. Right? Is that right?
That's different than what I knew it
What
as,
were you going to say
But it
then?
means the same thing.
What were you going to say?
Client experience coach.
Okay.
But either,
Like all the same thing.
It's all the same thing. All the same thing is to be where you are overseeing and watching the entire client experience inside the rooms.
Yes.
But
From the second we walk in.
And when I say inside the rooms, that's the focus, but I think what we've learned over the last 5 years is outside the rooms, inside the rooms, has to coordinate,
Yes.
has to work together. Otherwise, the inside the room experience is drastically impacted.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right. So all the details matter. So from a member experience, what they are experiencing as soon as they walk in the door, making sure they are welcome, they feel welcome, making sure options are available in every single room, you know, if people need them, making sure our new time friends are comfortable when they walk in.
Right.
All the little details, all the things that are going to set us apart and make us greater.
Because
Continue to be
when
great.
you go travel with Monique's or whoever it is, you always go to another studio.
Always. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love it because I love to move. I love to take classes. But I always learn something from other studios on things that we can bring back here. What can we do? What are they doing that would be really fun or cool or elevate our experience here?
Yeah.
And then it makes me appreciate that what we have here is great, because what we do have here is great, and not many people do what we do here.
Yeah.
To the degree that we do it.
And I think for people that are from Fort Wayne, always lived in Fort Wayne, maybe don't travel outside of Fort Wayne much, don't realize that.
Right.
Because, yes, we are maybe a little biased because we love it and we built it, but we also say that because, like, we do test it and we do
Yes.
watch and we do observe and we do get inspired by others, because there's a
Yes.
ton of other great studios out there, ton of other great coaches.
Like, we're biased, but I feel like I am at least my worst critic. I'm always For 5 years, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we just need to level up more. I think it needs to be better. And then I go and travel other places, and I realize, okay, we're doing really well, like very, very well.
Yes, but I think that's part of why we need all of us.
Yes.
We need somebody that's going to push and say, man, we're doing great, but we can do better.
Yeah.
But we could be doing more. Like, let's just,
Yes.
if we just take the cycle room, for example, how many things have grown and expanded?
Oh, numerous.
Because, like, you and Amelia will hit me with a, hey.
Hey, we want to try something. Can we get your thoughts on
Right.
backflipping on song 3? Is that going to be okay for everybody? All right, awesome. We'll just try it and let you know.
Yeah. Or we'll just hear about it after.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But all of that is because you believe in the members. Like
Yeah.
me and Margaret earlier today, Margaret Bronson, longtime member, did a talk on pelvic floor, and her and I were reminiscing on how when she first started coming, boot camp was in the boxing room. Like
Yeah.
there's been so many different things, but like looking at how strong people have become.
Right. We've grown together. So let's take cycles specifically. When we first started, staying out of the saddle on like a sprint shift center, like jog, was a challenge for all of us. Like
Yeah.
to stay up the entire time.
Yep.
Now, in those jogs, we're doing all of the things.
Right.
Option to sit down is always there. But we've all evolved into choreography together, into speeds, into heavy climbs together, because people can do it. We realize we can pull this out of them. It's making us work.
Yes.
It's making us challenge our members so we don't stay stagnant, right? So we continue to grow, evolve, and we just realize how much stronger we are. Okay, we've accomplished A, B, and C. Let's move on now. X, Y, and Z. What can we do? Let's push the limit. Let's see what we can do, of course, safely.
Right.
Right? But let's see what we can do. How are we going to level up?
And I'm glad that you said that, because I mean, most people I'm sure know, but just in case they ever walk out of a class and they're like, holy crap.
Right.
Like, you are always running it through the lens of, is that safe? Like,
First
yes,
and
it's going to
foremost.
be possible,
Yeah.
but like, is this wild? Like, we'll probably never be the studio that does something like unclip out of the left foot and we're just going to ride on that right foot. I
We
know,
may, though.
I
I'm
know.
just playing.
I know it's coming before, but I mean,
Yeah.
we've even joked about that before. But
We're always pushing the envelope.
Right.
But I feel like we have to. Otherwise, I get bored. I'm the first one to get bored. I get bored. I'm always wanting to change stuff. You know that.
well, I think you and I could both agree. Like, we've had conversations, all of us as coaches, we've went back and forth. Like, one time I'm doing sledgehammers.
Yeah.
I was going a little too fast. You guys called me on it. Like, but that's why it works.
Right.
And we've all grown so well together. But like, and that's kind of what CEC does, is it's a way to make sure that we're all continuing to grow, so that the member base grows, the communities grow.
But the beauty within that is, so say we want to try something new. For instance, I tried a new sequence and build on yesterday. And I said, all right, we're going to run this out. If we like it, we like it. If we don't like it, we'll never do it again. So I feel like it's trial and error, but because we have the trust of our members, we can say things like, we're going to try this, see how it goes. You know what I mean? And so they're like, all right, let's do it. And they're willing and they're open
Yeah.
to trying things
Well,
that maybe a couple of years ago they wouldn't have been.
Right. But you're also, before class, you're reading your map.
Right.
And you're going to know, like, hey, maybe today's not the day.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Right.
Like, there could be there's a lot of variables.
Right.
For
sure.
the front desk is great about noting accounts on, like, let's just say there's an injury, or there's just something for us to be aware of, because we're not going to know everything.
And if there's a bunch of, first-time friends, of course, I'm probably not going to run
Yeah.
a bunch of crazy stuff out. I mean, nothing we really do is crazy, although it might seem like it when we get to go in and cycle. But everything is first and foremost safety first.
Yeah.
And then we push envelopes.
Well, and I think people have come to expect that from your classes specifically. Like, they know it's going to be challenging. They know the tempos might be a little faster, but you've kind of built your personal brand on that.
Yeah.
And like, what would you say? But at the same time, like, you do it in a way that blends like hype with heart. Like, it's got both in there. And I think maybe sometimes people have heard and they think they know what to expect, but then when, like, it might just be as you walk by somebody, like, just a touch on the forearm and a look in the eye of like I'm gonna pull out the best from you, but I see you.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's why you have such a following.
I feel like I'm really good at pulling hard out of people.
Yeah.
Or getting them to believe that they can handle this. Like, you can do this. Look me in my eyes.
Right.
I see you. You see me looking at you. I need you to just try it.
Right.
And that is what I love the most about coaching, is when I see in their eyes the excitement because they just did what they thought they couldn't do.
Right.
Like,
Right.
they trust me enough to take a risk on themselves. Take a risk on yourself. You don't like it, you can always go back. I tell them that all the time. You can always go back to what you're comfortable with, but when you're comfortable, you don't grow.
Right.
Right? So it's like when I see them get that spark and they're doing, some crazy hand release and cycle, and I'm like, yes, Sally Jane, and they get that little spark in their eye, forget it.
Right.
I'll talk about it all day.
Right.
I'm like, Brady,
I've heard it.
Did you see Sally Jane? Like, she was doing all the things. It's amazing. That's what I love about it. It gets me so excited. It's just like freedom through movement.
Right.
Like living your life through movement and then realizing you can take a risk in these rooms. Imagine what you can do out here in your job, in your family, in your life, just in your life.
Yes.
Like being confident to live your life with a little bit of risk. And if it doesn't work out,
You can always,
go back.
And it's the same kind of thing of like what we were talking about before we hit play or record or whatever. Like for me, if I start my countdown and I'm saying we got 4, 3, 2, 1, and I see you stop on 3,
We'll start the whole class over.
it just does, it makes me not sad. It just makes me want you to bet on yourself more.
Right.
To take a risk on yourself more. Like what you just said. Like, so when I see someone drive all the way through 1 until that final beat,
Right.
like that's when I know, because like you said, when you walk out the doors of Triumph, that's how you're going to do everything.
Right. Yeah, how you do one thing is how you do all things.
That's how you're going to do everything.
Right.
And I mean, of course there's going to be circumstances or whatever, but if you genuinely know you don't need to stop, and that's where I think some people just, they've never had somebody see them enough to say, I know you got more in there.
And then that's what makes Triumph special, because we see them, then they realize, okay, I'm being seen. I can start to see myself.
Right.
And now and then we see the little things in class. That person that comes from the third row who swears up and down, I will never leave this third row. And then they're in the second row. And then I move them to the first row. And then they book themselves in the first row. That's amazing.
Right. And we've seen it happen.
That's amazing. Yeah, that
many,
fuels my fire.
Right. And those are the things that people probably don't realize, that, yeah, we will spend the rest of the day
Talking about it.
Talking about it.
And for me personally, that's what makes me want to do better. That's what makes me want to, how can I be more creative for them? What different sequencing can I do? How can I get them to go a little deeper in their Cossacks in mobile, things like that. It's like makes me, you trust me enough that you've already taken these risks. What can I give more? How can I give more of myself to you to get you to believe in yourself even further?
Yes.
And to keep you trusting me to come back and let's just keep doing this thing.
Yes.
And it's wild, because over the last 5 years, if I think back even 3 years ago, I would have never thought we would be where we are. It's like we continue to level up, but you can't really see it until you're in it. You know what I mean? It's not like we're sitting there going, okay, we're going to level up, and by this time next year, I want to be doing X, Y, and Z. It just slowly evolves, and then you look back, you reflect, and you're like, well, dang.
Right.
We just went from this to
this.
and no big deal.
And that's like seeing your excitement,
wild.
hearing your excitement. Like those are the moments, like as you're sitting there saying that, I'm just over here having a talk with myself of, that's why I'm sitting there reviewing a spreadsheet for every little margin or the boring things that
matter,
that nobody needs to see, but it's so that can happen.
Right.
That's why it matters. Like, and there are some times
Because
where I'm like, my mind is numb and
Eyes
I
are
just want
crossed.
to, and I don't want to look at the spreadsheet one more again. But I know it matters
Yes.
because you care that much.
Like, Triumph is magical. And it has literally changed. It's changed my life, and in all ways.
Yeah.
It has made me a better business owner. It has made me a better mother, a better wife, more confidence within myself. Growing up, I always wanted to, for instance, physically, I wanted to have the little skinny like white girl legs. I wanted to have the skinny hair, the white girl hair that moves when it's wet and the whole thing, right? But like training through Triumph has taught me to be okay with what I have and the gifts that I was given, and that they matter, right? And so I don't have to look like this person. I don't have to act like this person. I can be myself, whether that's loud, crazy, obnoxious. It's accepted, but look what it's doing. Like, God intended for me to have these qualities about myself to pull things out of other people.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that in the people that come in here. It's like they're learning to be okay with who they are, what they look like, what they do, what their profession is, who they are as a person. And those are just priceless.
Yep.
It's priceless.
And us as a team, like, have watched each other evolve and grow.
And we're inspired by each other.
Yeah.
You know, like when I take your class or Amelia's class, it's like I leave those classes, yeah, I feel good because, you know, we sweat and did all the things, but your words are inspiring, you know, and it's like, I felt like that from taking your class. That gives me even more fuel and more passion to make somebody else feel like that from taking my class. Like,
right.
Man, that's how I felt. Is that how they feel when they come to me?
Right.
Okay, what can I do even better? Like, how can I be even better for these people?
Yeah.
So it's like a constant, like a little circle of recharge when we're around each other. And that's why I like to take class. I take a lot of classes here. I do, during the week.
Yeah, you do.
I do. And my husband's like, are you like, I take so many classes, you're training? Like jokingly, you training? I said, no. And the other day I had this conversation with Judy, and she said, I was telling her what Kim said, are you training for something? And she looks at me and she says, yeah, we're training for life. And I said, you know what, Judy? That is exactly right. Mental resilience training camp.
That's wild.
Training for life.
That's wild that you just said that. I just had that conversation with somebody earlier.
Really?
Like, yes.
Because it's true.
Right. Because it's like, what are you training for? You're not. I'm training for life.
Our mind to be able to handle this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but because like you said, we charge each other's batteries, and that's like something that I've caught myself saying at the end of a boot camp. I was like, hey, here's all I'm going to ask you to do today. Smile. Smile. This energy that we just created in this space, it's your responsibility to leave here and take that with you, and then go spread it.
Right.
And go spread it. Because we're a community inside of a community, and you're going to go somewhere and be a community inside of the community, and together we are the Fort Wayne community.
Right. So like take a little piece of what you felt today, and how can you share it? Like in your way, in your profession, and whatever you do during the day, throughout the day, how can you spread a little bit of that joy?
Because let's say you're a nurse. Kelly's a nurse. Obviously that connects here.
Right.
If I say we're going to stop in 4, 3, 2, 1, and you stop on 2, are you going to go that extra mile at work? Are you going to make that extra phone call to that spouse who maybe needs some information about could you get away with not doing it? Probably.
Sure. Yeah.
But would it make that extra difference?
Right.
That's why it matters. That's why you don't stop on 3.
And I feel like a big thing also through Triumph that for me stands out is what you do in the dark comes to light. These rooms are dark.
Yeah.
So for instance, in cycle or in boot camp, if we drop those lights in boot camp and you're in a plank and you know you can hold that plank, but you drop to your knees and you're selling yourself short, it's like, where else are you going to cut corners in life? You better hold that plank in the dark because you are watching.
Yeah, right.
You better save in that sprint in the dark because you are watching.
Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yes.
That's like one of the most powerful things I ever was told.
I've just learned so many lessons through Triumph that were just like aha moments that have directly affected what I do at the dance studio. Like the things that I say to the people here, we are talking about that with the dancers. And that's huge. Like we're talking about self-responsibility, how we perceive things.
Yeah.
She made me mad. You chose to be mad. No, you chose to be mad.
Right.
Kids lying about things. You know, kids are doing. Kids lying about things and then they're caught. Whatever you do in the dark, it's coming to light.
Yep.
Like just please, there's nothing that's hidden. Speak the truth always.
And you will, even if you get away with it, you'll never truly get away with it.
No, because you got to lay in bed at night.
Right. You know.
And it will eat you.
Yes. I'll never forget, quick little side story along with that. I had a friend of mine. We were out at a bar. He was being flirtatious, whatever. And he looks at me. He's like, hey, what if you knew you'd never get caught? What if you knew you'd never get caught? And I just remember looking back and I was like, I would still know.
And karma doesn't play.
Well, but then I was also like, someday I'll have to answer for that.
Uh-huh.
And I just pointed up, and it like stopped him right in his tracks, and he never mentioned it again.
It doesn't feel good to
No.
carry that weight on you.
No.
That doesn't feel good.
Why would you choose that?
Because we've all done things that we know we shouldn't have, and it eats you.
Right. But some of us learn from it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, but I mean, I think that's a good point that you made earlier. Like, that's part of why Triumph has grown in the way it has, is you have season 19. So when we opened, you were in season, 14?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have all that experience that you and Brady will bring over here. And then you also have the benefit of taking what you learned
Yes.
here and taking it there. And it's back and forth. And we all have that to a degree. You just have movement and the power of movement and the human body and the close interactions that you have at the studio.
But you know what's wild, though?
What?
Literally, I remember specifically having a conversation with Amelia in the back room. It was year 4. So last year. Early last year. And I remember saying, Amelia, it literally just clicked. 4 years in, it clicked that what I say and do over here has to be brought deeper into the dance studio. Like, it was just like, ding. I'm like, why did it take 4 years for me to figure that out? It was wild.
It takes what it takes.
And then ever since then, it's been like a game changer. Not just me, like staff. You know, we have staff meeting every week, every Monday. And so the things that we talk about have changed. You know, like, it's a little deeper.
It
And
has
it's more,
to.
and it's more responsibility on each one of us.
Right.
Like, what's the problem? What's the problem this week? You know, okay, how do we handle it? It starts with us.
Yeah. How do we build trust?
100%.
And to tie back to what you were saying about in the rooms holding the plank, it starts with how you trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, it is super hard to trust someone else, even in close proximity. Like you and I, you and Amelia, you and Mary, me and
Yes.
Mary. Like, we have to, if I don't trust me, there's nothing I could say.
And coaching has helped with that because, you know, when you first start coaching, you get nervous.
Yeah.
You're nervous and you're like,
I still get nervous sometimes.
still, especially worship ride, nervous, heart rate's up. But you get up there and you're on this microphone, you're like, okay, I gotta like get all these people, not necessarily to move the same, all right, fine, missing a drop, okay, but what am I gonna say to them? Like, will I have the words? What am I gonna say that's gonna make them wanna come back, or that's gonna make them leave and enjoy class enough to book again?
Right.
You know, and so it's like, okay, Kristin, I've had to teach myself, just get up there, do your thing, everything will fall into place. And it does every single time. Every single time.
And usually it's the ones when we doubt ourselves the most that it impacts someone
The most.
The most.
Yes. And then you get messages like, thank you so much. I need your words today. I'm going through X, Y, and Z. And what you said about this really helped me get through it. And I felt seen. And I feel like I have the power. I feel like I can run through walls after today's class. Oh.
Right.
And here I am upset because, well, that didn't really come out the way I wanted it to come out. You know, like little things like that.
Which is another reminder, I think. I mean, you and I talk about God and the impact of that all the time. But like, every time that happens for me, it reminds me that that's my ego telling me I was supposed to say it in some kind of way. God let the words come out how he needed it to come out through me for them.
To reach that person. Yeah.
Like, it wasn't about me
Right.
the whole time. But I mean, I think it's natural for us to
Analyze, overanalyze,
I want to hit the
overanalyze
drops
again.
just right. I want to
Yeah.
say this. Like, it happened to me in my last worship. I mean, you've had many times, especially when I started teaching cycle, where I'd come out and I'd immediately start beating myself up. And you're like,
And I'm like,
"Dude,
stop.
It was fine.
It was great.
It was fine."
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just natural tendency. And part of it is because we want it to be great.
But then when we stop and realize that we're humans and we're not perfect. But people don't come here for us to be perfect.
No. I think if I remember back to opening day, when we had that open house, I was standing like right here with my turntables, DJing.
Yeah.
Like, people, that was part of the thing that was intimidating to people that I kept hearing. It was like, everybody here looks perfect.
Oh.
I was like, trust me, we're
But
not.
we're not.
We're not.
And we've had the confidence over the years to talk about how we're not in these rooms.
Right. And hold that space with people, which is something that I don't know if all I can speak to is for us, but I think sometimes people aren't emotionally intelligent enough or emotionally confident enough to have a hard conversation or hold a space with somebody or a group of somebodies and be like, hey, we're going to sit in this.
Those aren't fun. And we've had many a hard conversation here at Triumph Studios.
Right. But like the members, the team that are like, we're still here.
We're still here.
We're stronger because of it.
Yes. So vulnerability is a big one. That's a big one that I learned year one, 2020. We opened May 2020. My mom died October 2020. I just started doing worship rides, and I got up there and spoke about my mom. I spoke at my mom's funeral. And as I was walking up the stairs, I said, I had her journal, 2 journals of hers in my hand, and I said to myself, God, I'm gonna need you. I was walking so slow, I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm gonna need you to give me all of the words. And I turned around and I started to speak, and it was, God said, here you go. It was wild. And so from that moment, so I had the courage to get up there because I was been teaching here and I felt a little more comfortable talking in front of everybody. But from that moment, translating back into these rooms, whenever I feel, especially in worship ride, nervous, I will stop. I'll sometimes say it on the mic, God, give me the words. Because I am like this every time he does. And being vulnerable and being able to open up on the microphone has helped me connect with people. You know, and I feel I can pull a little bit more out of people when they know
they can trust you.
Yes, because there's no wall.
Right.
Where I was the first one to have a brick wall up. First one. God said, no. Now if you're going to do this gig right here at Triumph, you need to bust them down.
Man, he
and
knew.
He said, hammer, and they all crashed in October. And that's what it was for me. My mom dying, opened up. Okay, here it is. This is how I'm feeling. And it sucks.
And she was the one that
the hard things.
Yeah.
So my mom, yes, my dad is a pastor, and so they've always taken care of people, pastor or not. That's just her heart. So there were 2 girls. My mom had an employee that died, and so she took her 2 girls in. They were kind of troubled teens.
Wow.
And they lived with her. And one night, the one girl, she got in trouble. She was at the house. I wasn't there. I was in college, so I was out of the house already. And she was crying. And my mom grabbed her by the shoulders and she said, Chance, you can do hard things. And so when my mom died, Chance wrote me a letter, and she, at the bottom of it, she was saying what my mom said. And she said, your mom said, you can do hard things. So as I was walking up the stairs at her funeral, I turned around, and the first words out of my mouth was, because Chance was there, and I said, Chance, I can do hard things, right? And she said, and I said, okay, here I go. And that's all it was.
That was one of the first things that you said.
That was the first thing I said.
We didn't know, we were still getting to know each other year one.
Yeah.
I wasn't at your mom's service, but it was live streamed. And I remember I watched it. I was sitting in the parking lot at Mitchell's. Me and my son Gabe, we pulled up, and I remember black dress.
Yeah.
All the thing. And I remember that was like the first thing that came out. Was like, we can do hard things. Yeah.
I can do hard things.
And who would have thought, though, that like now there's not a community member at Triumph, maybe a couple, that don't know that
wild.
Phrase.
It's wild to me.
Right. And they probably have a situation that happens on a random Thursday. And they're like, you know what? I can do hard things.
I can do hard things.
Because they might not know that it's because Kristin's mom told Chance that she could do hard things. Who
reminded me, yeah.
Isn't that wild? How?
Yes.
And there are so many things like that. Like, you usually do it when I'm riding big bike at worship. You'll light up the T logo on the back wall. Mm-hmm. And you'll be like, what does that mean? It's hard to even put it into words.
So many things.
It's hard to even put it into words.
My brain goes, which one do you want to pull from today? What does it mean today?
Yeah, but...
This means so much.
But I mean, to that point, I think it's the 5.5 years we've been doing this, we now have a palette to paint from.
Yeah.
Of like, because some days I'm going to need some of this. And then other days it's like, oh, I didn't even know I could paint with that color.
It's magic.
Damn.
But like, who would have thought it would have turned into that? Like, we were at the lab just figuring out like how to call out cues, like push it and press and keep your elbows in. Never.
Elbows in.
Elbows in.
Elbows can in. I still think about little quick story. One of the first times that Kristin was teaching at the lab.
It was a practice class. It was like, 5 people in there?
I'm on my bike. It's like 5:10 in the morning. Probably just happy. She walks up. She's like, elbows in. Elbows freaking in. And now to this day, you best believe, if you see me pressing, my elbows are in.
Bad boys are in.
In.
Tight. But yeah, we would have thought, then we were just going through the motions.
We didn't know
We weren't even releasing hands yet. We were just pressing and pushing.
It was one bike on a pallet.
Yes.
On a pallet.
And we were hoping we didn't fall through that pallet. Who would have known it would literally change our... Karina did.
Yeah.
I think she fell right through, busted the whole thing.
Yep.
But like, here we are, 268 weeks in, to be exact, with all this mental mind game work
And
that was never thought of.
There's a lot turn into this. That has went into that. So like, you gotta tell the story about how you found yourself to the lab, because we had just got going.
So, okay, there were signs all through Jefferson Point. Triumph coming soon, and it was box hit.
Yeah.
Back then it was what? Cycle, box hit,
bar.
And bar. I don't think boot camp was on the title. Just those 3. I think it was box hit,
I think
cycle.
boot camp was on it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Well, I kept seeing the signs.
But it was in the bar room, so it was.
So it was just different.
It was camp.
Okay. And at this point, I've been teaching at the YMCA. So I was teaching Zumba and step aerobics and weights at the Y. Okay. So I see all these signs and I'm like, oh, that's cute. I wonder what it's going to be. Is it going to be like another Orange Theory, but maybe with cycle? I didn't know. I'd only taken 1 cycle class in Chicago, Studio 3, and I couldn't stand. I didn't like it. My friends were raving. It's so great. I left it out there. I'm like, my butt hurts. It was hard to push the pedals. I could barely stand up. Like, I didn't like it. But now here comes all these signs, as I kept seeing. Well, then all of a sudden around town, I would leave my house, and I'd be on Jefferson, and I'd look over, and Justin's Dodge Ram, which was wrapped with Triumph, I would see it. And then I would see the van that Karina drove wrapped in Triumph, and I was seeing it all the time. I was driving down there, pulling out of their addition. I'd be at a light, I'd look over, it was right there. I'd be behind one of the vehicles. It was to the point where I'm like, okay, am I getting punked? Because am I being videoed? Someone's gonna pop out and say, surprise, whatever. So it was a Friday night, I was going to the studio to do privates, and I saw the truck again. So I went to the website, and I'm looking up all the things, and I just sent an email, and I said, hey, I teach this, and this, I've been teaching this many years. I've never taught cycle, but I think I'd be good at it. It was the most informal, I put 0 thought into it. Send. Somebody responded, it was Justin or Karina, but somebody responded, and we had a FaceTime in 2 days. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Justin and Karina?
Yeah. So the 2 of them pop up. And then here's me, and they're like, okay, meet us on this next upcoming Saturday with 2 cycle songs, ready to do an audition. And I was like, all right,
okay,
perfect,
where?
See you there. Hung up the phone, called my friend in Arizona. I gotta teach 2 cycle songs. I've been on the bike 1 time, what do I do? And so I just made it up as I went and passed. But I saw the Triumph logos on those vehicles everywhere. God was like it was to the point where I was like, fine. And at that point, I don't even know if I gave him the recognition of, this is a sign from you. I just was like, this is a crazy sign. And now here we are. It's wild.
Meant to be.
And I still see the truck. It's not wrapped anymore, but I'll still text Justin, and I'll just send him a truck and, just like a word that says, again, and he knows.
He knows.
It's awesome. So that's when I discovered, also with Triumph, that symbol, what it means. One of them are signs.
Yeah.
And really paying attention to signs. That's the first time that I was like, I need to start paying attention to little things that reoccur in my life because they're going to lead to something else.
Well, yeah. And I think a lot of times people expect God to speak to you in a certain way.
Yes.
Like, oh, I have to sit down and I have to say this and I have to talk a certain way, and the signs are going to come like a bolt of lightning or a burning bush. No.
God sometimes is bold. You and I talked about that. He's like in my face, or it's super, super subtle and gives me a, God, you're so sly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like dang, he did that.
Right. And then he's usually like,
right.
about time you noticed.
Right. Right. So that's really changed. When things happen, I try to analyze, I wonder what this means. If it means anything. Does it mean anything? Could mean nothing.
And it
but
might
could it mean something?
And it might mean everything.
Right.
Like, who knows? What would life have been like had you not sent that email?
I don't know, because I can't I don't know what life would be like without Mindset Training Camp. That's what I call it. Mindset Training Camp, Triumph Studios.
I think we all say that now.
Yes.
Ever since you said that.
Like, we come to camp 5 a.m. Here we go. We're going to camp. Come on, campers. What are we going to learn about ourselves today?
And I don't know if any of us, I mean, I know for me, my Beachbody experience made me wonder why people didn't talk about emotions and that side of stuff in fitness. But I don't think, even at the lab, we had any idea that we were going to play as much role in here.
No, because for me specifically, it was calories. Oh, that was a good workout because we burned so many calories. We don't even talk about that. Now it's like, man, I feel like I can lift up a car with one hand. I feel so confident and strong leaving that class today.
Yep.
Where all the extra physical, it'll come, but that's not what matters, right? Because when we leave this earth, they're not going to say, "Oh, Tyler, he had the best biceps." Great bicep. No, Tyler made me feel seen.
Yep.
Tyler made me feel loved. That's what people are going to remember. Like, all the physical stuff comes with it, but we got to get it right up here. We got to get it right up here to live our best life, to be the best version of ourselves.
Well, yes, because as a nutrition coach, you know, we use the analogy, well, you take your vehicle to the shop and you get your oil changed. It's preventative maintenance. We do that for this. Yes, that's what we do. We eat the proteins, the carbs, the fats, all that stuff. But we also have to take care of this.
Yes, more importantly.
And this, right, because that affects all the other things.
So it's like shifted the way I look at workouts, I guess. Like, I feel like it's weird to say that this is a workout. Like, well, I don't refer to Triumph as a workout.
I mean, a lot of times I will tell people you have to work in as much as you work out.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Because, like, people will say, like, well, I'm going to go work out, but they don't ever talk about how much they're also working in. And I think that's one of the powerful things of Triumph is it's dark, it's loud, which forces you into your head.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
Right.
It forces you into your mind so that you can work in and handle those things.
And learn about yourself.
Right.
It's funny because my verbiage to new friends that come in has changed over the years. Where before it's like, yeah, we'll teach you how to do all the things and you live to the rhythm. And now it's like, okay, you're ready to do this because you're going to become addicted. You're going to love it. And it's going to really make you mentally strong. Like, my verbiage is night and day different than it was 200 years ago.
Doesn't even talk about the physical changes that are going to happen.
Naturally.
Right.
Because you start to get more confidence, and then you start to analyze what goes in your mouth, how you dress. Not that that's important, but you feel good about yourself, so little things are just going to start to change.
And how you speak to people.
And to yourself. Yeah, 100%.
I was just about to say, like, I was the most cruel to myself back in the day. And I think we all either are or were.
Yes.
Depending on what level of development we're at. And that's like, I know in class I've said before, like, hey, if you wouldn't say it to someone else, don't say it to yourself right now. Not right now when it matters the most. Right now when you're in pain and you want to give up and you want to stop, but you know you don't really need to.
Right.
How you talk to yourself right now.
And be honest with yourself, because you know you can handle this. You know you can stay up this extra 15 seconds out of your whole day. You got 24 hours. I need you for 15 seconds longer.
Right.
You're going to make it.
Yep.
You're okay.
And either way, you're going to think about this next 15 seconds the rest of the day.
Yes.
If you sit down, you're going to think about it. If you stay up, you're going to be like, damn, I stood up.
Yes.
And now you know you can.
Make yourself proud.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's moments like that. So I'm going to give an example the other day. In whose class? Karina, Tuesday. We were doing the lateral lunge, and I handed Kate that 25-pound.
I saw it.
And did you see her go, even for the press? And I said,
yes, Kate. I saw
and she
it.
did every single one.
Yep.
I was like that right there.
That's wild that you bring that moment up, because I remember looking over and seeing you smile at her, see her kind of go, and she smiled back, but she picked it up.
And she did it. She did the whole thing. She didn't think she was going to, even for the press, it was like, even for the press. And the whole thing.
Super strong.
So it's like accountability. Triumph is accountability. Accountability to yourself because you booked, show up.
Yeah.
And then it's like accountability to other people. I remember the day that Justin, we were in boot camp. He wasn't teaching. We were in somebody's class. And we were doing chest. And he handed me 25s. And he moved the 20s. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And boy, I did it.
Yep.
And I was so proud of myself. And so I will, from that moment on, I will forever challenge people. Try the 20. Try the 25. Try the this on your knees or on their toes. Try the extra weight. Try the extra 5 pounds. And then they do it. And I tell them every time, Justin challenged me to chest press to 25. I didn't think I could do it. Just try it. You will not know until you know.
Yep.
It was awesome. It's like little moments like that. The community working together. You know, it's like you know each other and you build this trust, and then you start to push each other.
Right.
Not just the coaches. Now everyone's pushing each other.
Right. Yeah, we see it.
It's awesome.
And there have been a couple of times where me and Justin almost died pushing each other.
Pushing each other.
Things. I'll never forget a time at the lab where we were doing goblet squats into swings, and he handed me a 55.
Oh my gosh.
He's slightly a larger person than me. But I did not set that 55
You
down.
said.
I almost.
But you did it. You
Right.
did it.
And then now I know I can.
Yes.
Because now there's times in there where I'll walk over there and I will say, just grab the 25s. And they're all gone. And usually I'll be like, okay.
Right.
There's a sign.
Yep.
I better take my ass to that right side of that rack and pick up them heavies.
Or like you and I are planks.
Yeah.
We can't drop the plank.
I looked at you the other day and you.
Did I drop?
Yeah. Well, you first. But I was thankful.
Okay, it's so bad. Like the music will go out. They'll be like 3, 2, 1, quit, and we'll like hold it. And I'm like, will you drop so I can drop?
Who was it that called us out the last time? And they're like these two children in their damn planes.
Somebody. But I'm like, well. And this was years ago. This started.
Yep.
It was during the imams, the October. Remember? Year 1 or 2.
Wow.
And you had that like 29-year plank that you held.
It was like 11 minutes.
It was so long.
It was stupid.
That's crazy.
And I didn't go into it planning on that.
But you were just sitting there talking, holding the plank for hours on end.
That's my problem. My damn mouth is running.
You're committed
Just
though. That's good.
talking.
Committed.
Well, and yeah, and there's a deep connection for that. Like with push-ups, pull-ups specifically. Like the story
your
of.
journey, yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, Kelly basically banged it off my head. She was like, man, if you couldn't pull yourself up on the side of a building, you would die. Like, what if you're ever in a situation where you're hanging off of something? You're going to leave me and the kids? You better do something about that.
And you were like, all right, here
For
I go.
real.
That's wild.
Yeah. Pressure builds power, man. We put ourselves in those positions. And I think that's a lot of times for here, like you said, book, commit. You got to choose to put yourself in those positions.
Follow through because you're worthy of that for yourself.
Because life's not going to stop.
Nope.
I mean, you know, your boys are
Ripping and running. And you got to push through. You know, it's we can make every excuse not to be here. Every excuse. Everyone's tired. Everyone's got a lot going on. But these people are choosing, like we are choosing to be here. And that's what keeps us mentally sound and resilient.
Yeah.
To realize that we can handle anything.
Well, yeah. And we know they're counting on us.
Yes.
We're counting on them. They're counting on us. Like, and is it a business? Yes, it's a business. But man, it's so much more than that.
Yes.
That's like now, like you've said, the way I describe Triumph now has changed and evolved over the years. Because usually, like, what do you guys do there? It's like, man, first and foremost, we are a community.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to transform minds and bodies through
Right.
movement, but we're a community.
Isn't that wild? Like you talk about the rooms last.
Last.
Like what goes on in this room? Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Right.
Because you talked about all the mental stuff first.
Right, which was wild. Like when Matt Flynn,
Yeah.
when I thought he was punking me in the parking
Yep.
lot. We weren't even out the first door and we were homies.
Yeah.
Just because, but the last thing we talked about was the equipment and we got this.
And what we actually physically
Right.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just more of the mental changes. Do you mind sharing the story about how you got started on worship?
Yeah. So at the lab, Karina did worship ride. And, you know, my dad's a pastor, so I've heard a lot of Christian music they play. And I didn't realize that there was so much more than DC Talk, right?
I remember DC Talk.
And like Amy Grant. Am I aging myself? But I remember being at the lab and Karina did a worship ride. And she played songs like Church Clap and had the bass. We weren't doing all the crazy choreography we do now because none of us knew it then. But I was like, wow, I left that class thinking, that was really, really something special. And the music was fun, and I thought it was going to be kind of lame, you know, because it's like a Jesus ride. I don't know, I just went to lame. Well, then, we always call it the Real Triumph. Real Triumph opened, and Karina was up there teaching, and at the end of her class, I was in the front row all the way at the side by the door, and she said, hey, and next week, Kristen's going to be on the worship ride. And I said, okay, like, because everyone's looking now, like, oh. And inside, I was dying. Because I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to get, what am I going to say when I get up here and do this? I don't know what to do. It took me forever to make a playlist. Like the whole thing. This is year 1 when we're fresh into it.
Was your mom still with us?
Yes, because I started it in the summer and she left us in October. So I only had a few months in before she left, but I love Worship Ride. Like it has really taken me somewhere deep. It has forced me to really dive into the word more. Like I feel like it's brought me closer to God, because how am I going to get there? I mean, I can speak of my own experiences, but I feel I have to get deeper into his word to be able to spread his word.
Yeah.
And so I feel like what a wonderful opportunity to be able to use a talent and a gift of mine that he's given me for his purpose. Triumph Studios and Worship Ride specifically have made it easier for me to talk about God in life, anywhere, anytime. I found myself doing it in regular cycles where I didn't used to. Like a couple years ago, I'd be like, oh, I just said God. I said something about God.
Right.
Not that I was ashamed, but I was like, well, this isn't the Worship Jesus Ride. This is who I am now. Look, God is me, I am him. Here we go. So you're going to hear it.
I am that I am.
Right. Like you're going to hear it whether it is a Thursday 5 a.m. or a Worship Ride 8:15.
And I don't think anybody's surprised by that. I mean, I do it in HHM sometimes.
Well,
I don't like go out of my way, but
right.
I also don't block it when I feel it coming.
Right. That. I'm just more willing, I'm confident enough to speak.
Took me a long time to get there.
To not worry about.
To unapologetically claim his name in front of anyone, or do what the Bible actually says, which is to invite a brother or sister to come to Christ.
Yes.
Without hesitation.
I would have
in Walmart,
never.
in
yes.
whatever, like wherever he's like, now, I'm like, now? Damn.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
But now it's different.
Right.
Yes. It's amazing.
Which is wild, because that was the commitment I made that night in jail. But it hasn't been until Triumph that I've
utilized it.
Well,
it's come out.
Or that, yeah. Because back then I had no idea that Triumph was in my future.
Right.
Any of our futures. But like that night when I finally surrendered, and I'm like, whatever you need me to do for the rest of my life, for you, if you help me dig out of this pit, I mean, I just didn't know that meant all of these amazing things.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's wild to think about.
Yeah.
When I take myself back to the lab, all of the events that have gotten us here, and how amazing they are, and how they've literally changed my life in every way.
And how many times,
it's crazy.
How many times have you thought about, this is just too much? I know there's been a few.
There have been times, but maybe just that one time when I had a little episode of like, am I doing the right thing? And every time I start to doubt and question, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right spot? Should I continue to do this? I always get a sign that yes. There's always a sign.
Always a sign.
Always.
Which was the lesson from the beginning.
Yes. I started this Triumph journey with a sign, and now when I doubt, because we doubt, we're human, we're going to doubt.
Yeah.
There's always a sign.
Because on the flip side of these amazing
crazy.
things that we get to do at this gift, at this place, it comes with a weight. It also comes with a weight. There have been lots of emotions. We ask people to be emotional, therefore we ourselves have to be emotional with ourselves and with each other. And that can be volatile, if that's the right word. Volatile, explosive, if we don't protect it.
Right.
And manage it. And trust one another.
Well, that, and like really listening to ourselves.
Right.
You know, we can get up there all day and say, have hard conversations. You know, allow your feelings to come out, like X, Y, and Z, but then it's like, sometimes it's hard for us to do that.
Very hard.
Because we're in charge of pulling that out of people. So for us to sit down and allow it to come out of ourselves can be a challenge.
Yeah. Well, and we've had, just like we've been vulnerable, we've also had to be guarded along the way.
Yes.
Because there have been some that have come in the past.
That try to cut us.
Yeah, deep.
Yes.
And for me, it was happening before I even knew it. It was happening to me at the lab.
Yes.
But they were looking me right in the eyes and telling me something else. So, like, they're from the jump. It's like, but then that's where it's like, you got to lean into God. And it's like, God says, I got to trust.
And just trust.
I just got to trust.
Trust the process.
But man, last time I did that, I got burnt.
Right.
But
look at the lessons we've learned. I mean, we've grown tremendously from
Yeah.
those lessons that were tough. Capital T tough. Capital T triumph tough.
Triumph tough.
But we triumphed up. Here we are, triumphantly moving on.
Yeah. And it's
Doing
not
the
always
thing.
it's not always pretty.
No.
It's never perfect. But I think we are absolutely blessed with one of the best teams
Yes.
of human beings that only God puts together. Like only God can create a team like what we have
Yes.
here. And I do think people feel that.
Yes, including the members. They're part of this team.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Like I think when they see us bantering and back and forth and laughing and joking, they can tell. When one of us is off, they can tell.
Yep.
I mean, shoot, I've got messages before like, "Hey, you all right?"
Right. Even just being in the building, not even like on the microphone. Just like being in the building.
Well, you and I have talked about that before. Like part of God's gift to you is like some people are thermostats, some are thermometers. Like some people will walk into a room, into a space, they're a thermometer. They're going to adjust their temperature to the thermostats.
Yeah.
You're a thermostat. You walk in the door, people are going to adjust to your energy.
Right.
And
that can come with weight.
and that, it can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Because some days you just want to walk in the door and just not be okay.
Yeah.
And to some
But-
degree you can't.
Yeah, yeah. But the days that maybe we're not okay, it always turns into a let's rise up together type thing. Like, if you're feeling like this, we're going to do this together.
Yeah.
And on those days is when I'll get some of the best messages. Like, thank you for saying what you said today. I'm going through this in life right now, and your words helped me.
Right.
I'm like, dang, sign. All right, Kristin, keep going. Keep that head up, girl. Keep treading. God's got you. Trust him. Trust the process.
So we never would have imagined where we're at now after 5.5 years.
No.
Where do you envision Triumph being 5 years from now?
I mean, at this rate, taking over the world, that'd be great. The whole city. I honestly don't know because everything just happens without it happening. I feel like things just evolve, and then we look back and we're like, dang, look how far we've come. So I'm excited to see where we're going, but I have no idea where it's going to take us because I would have never expected to be where we are right now. Even a year ago, even a short year ago, I would have never expected for all of us to be right here and the things that have happened here.
I think one of the coolest things is a lot of us are still here together, still building, still growing, still figuring out the vision.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely see another set of doors and then another set of doors. And then,
awesome.
and that's where, like you said, we have now learned something, and you have a gift. Amelia has a gift. I have a gift in my way. Mary, JD, like Liv, everybody. Any name I didn't name, everybody here has a gift to contribute, and we're creating the blueprint
Right.
to go out there and help other communities heal from the inside out.
It's
Like
incredible.
work in just as much as out. Learn how to triumph over the trials
It's a gift. It's a blessing.
on the days where it gets real heavy and it's real hard. I always try and come back to.
Literally a gift that we've all been given. It's awesome.
Yeah. If there is any, I'm just gonna say lady, really anybody, but if there's maybe 20-year ago Kristin, if there's somebody out there right now that is maybe doubting, should I? Maybe that wasn't the sign I think it is. What advice would you give them?
Be okay with who you are. I think 20 years ago me was trying to chase somebody that I liked, like a version of somebody else that I was trying to apply to myself. And I wasn't content with exactly who Kristin Monique Thompson was. Pagan then. Kristin Monique Pagan was. And so I was trying to become everybody else until I stopped and realized, no, who I am and what I have to offer is okay. And then I found confidence in that. Once I accepted myself and who I am, what I have to offer, how I was made, created, all the things, then I found confidence. So be true to who you are. Don't try to be like this person. Don't try to be like that person. Don't try to mold. Be yourself and be okay with that. That's what I would say.
That's great advice. What would you say to 20 years from now, Kristin, if you could give advice to her?
20 years from now, Kristin, I hope to be like Judy Zacher status and just doing all the things, still moving. Man, I don't know, that's a tough one. My future self? I don't know, Tyler. What would I tell my future self? Keep doing your thing. I feel like I'm continually growing.
Yeah.
Hold on to the desire to be your best version. Continue to work on yourself. You're never too old to stop working on yourself.
Yes.
I think I would probably say that. You're 84, say you're 84. Keep working on yourself until God takes you out. Work on yourself.
Right. And that's powerful, because I think we all age. Some of us choose to stop growing.
Yes. It's a perfect way to say it.
Which is, and I always ask that question because I just planned on never being 45. I'm 45. I literally didn't plan on seeing 40, which was such a destructive way to live.
Yeah.
It was terrible. So it just always makes me think to ask that question, because I pray that you are planning to be 20 years from now and still kicking ass, still changing lives, still empowering younger versions of Kristin or Brady or whoever it might be. Like, just think of all the lessons and gifts that you will be able to empower them with.
That's
Half
exciting.
of them won't listen,
Right.
but by then you won't know. You'll know that those aren't your people.
Right.
Because we're never going to be for everybody.
We're going to be riding these bikes when we're 80?
Hell yeah.
Come on, Tyler. You got Tyler on the big bike.
One thing I know.
Elbows in.
I was about to say, you best believe my elbow's going to be in, though.
I mean, 40 years ago, I told him at the lab, elbows in. We're going to do it till the legs fall off.
We will. Rock it till the wheels fall off. Well, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate
Thanks for
everything
letting me.
that you bring to this space. And I'm glad that God continued to send you the signs.
Thank you.
Appreciate
too.
you.